Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Don Mecca, and today we're going to be checking out a fascinating video course. Kurzgesagt. Love their channel. You got to go check them out if you haven't. But ever wondered, what if you fall into a black hole? What happens? What do you experience? I hear a lot of people often saying you turn into spaghetti. Hopefully this video breaks it down for us. So I'm not gonna stretch out this intro too long. If you're into these type of reactions, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it.
Black holes are the most powerful and extreme things in the universe, and they're
Are they more extreme than supernovas?
wildly weird and complicated. What would happen if you fell inside one, and what are they really?
Kurzgesagt.
First, we need to talk about space and time. Space and time are the grand stage where the play of the universe unfolds. But space isn't a fixed stage, and time doesn't tick the same for everyone everywhere.
Isn't that so trippy to think about? That in our experience, everyday experience, time is fixed and it moves at the same rate. But in reality, when we're talking in various different scenarios, literally people experience time at different rates. It's so interesting to figure out that time can be variable. Ain't that insane?
In short, they're relative. Matter bends space, and bent space tells matter how to move.
Isn't that interesting too? Where in a curved space, you're traveling straight, but if the space is curved, you curve. Wow.
Stars and planets on the stage, and it sags underneath them. That misshapen stage, with all its little warps and dips, gives us gravity. Black holes do not just bend the stage, they're like trapdoors. Places with so much mass that the universe formed a no-go zone where the rules change.
Don't you feel like black holes are like a glitch in a matrix, a glitch into the programming of the universe where things just break? It's interesting to think of it like that. But is there such thing as universal mistakes? Everything might be as it is because it needs to be. And if it wasn't how it is, like the fundamental forces, the universal constants, they weren't exactly how they are, would we have the reality we have right now that works the way it works? Or would it be completely broken? You know, those people who believe in those multiverse realities where, you know, universes are slightly different from each other. You know, maybe a constant is off, a universal constant is off, or the speed of light is different. And what kind of effects does that have? Does the universe still work as well as it does here? Something to think about.
Most black holes form when very massive stars die. We explained this process in detail in our neutron star video.
Oh, gotta
All
watch
you need
that.
to know now is that in the final moments of really massive stars, their insides implode at nearly a quarter of the speed of.
And this is, again, so insane. And these stars are millions and millions times the size of Earth. And they all just whoop, collapse, just zoop, and become a black hole.
Light. This packs so much mass so close together, creating something so dense that it sort of breaks the stage of the universe. A black hole with 10 times the mass of the sun would be barely 60 kilometers across.
Wow.
If you look directly at a black hole, it looks
10 times the size of the sun. So like the sun is over 1.3 million Earths. Okay. And that gets compressed into that size, 60 kilometers. Insanity, right?
like nothing. The space under their control is blocked by an invisible one-way border called the event horizon. The event horizon forms a shell around a region of space that once entered is shielded from the rest of the universe forever.
Once you go through, you can't come back. Ooh.
Because the black hole trapdoor deforms space so much, not even light can escape it. And with nothing escaping to transfer information from the inside, it's impossible to tell what it really looks like.
Take a trip. One of you brave people go out there and take a trip.
We can still observe black holes because of their effect on matter.
Come back and let us
Things
know.
can orbit black holes just as they can orbit the sun or a planet. Many black holes have disks of matter orbiting outside the event horizon.
Accretion disk.
This matter can become incredibly hot as close orbits can speed this matter up to half the speed of light, and tiny amounts of friction and collisions between particles heat them to 1 billion degrees, making them
What the? 1 billion freaking degrees. Oh my God.
the space around these black holes ironically
Is there no upper limit? God damn. 1 billion degrees?
incredibly bright. What would happen if you were to try to get close or even inside a black hole? First of all, you'd see the strangest funhouse mirror in the universe. Matter isn't the only thing orbiting a black hole. Gravity is so strong near them that light can orbit too. If you hovered just outside the event horizon at the photon sphere in any direction, you just see yourself. Straight ahead would be the back of your own head, as light from your back
Straight in front of you is the back of your head. Oh, how trippy. How trippy is that?
travels around the black hole to your eyes. Gravity also alters the passage of time itself. The stronger the gravity, the slower time passes.
So you could be just hovering there for an hour and it'd be 1 million years past.
While you watch the universe above you speed up, those far away will watch you in slow motion.
Oh my God.
If you chose to fly away from the black hole, you might find that eons have passed for the rest of the universe, a freakish one-way time travel trip to the
Oh my God. Eons.
future where your loved ones are long dead.
Damn.
But getting close to a black hole can be incredibly dangerous. A painful death by spaghettification awaits
Spaghettification. Try saying that fast 5 times.
you. Because your feet are closer to the black hole than your head, they feel a stronger pull of gravity, enough to pull you apart.
Wow.
As you descend, it gets worse. The pulling gets stronger, your body squeezed thinner and straighter, until you've been reduced to a thin stream of hot plasma, gobbled up in one final slurp, never to be seen again.
God. So, yeah, you're not surviving that. Like, what? How?
Spaghettification is only a risk with smaller black holes, since they
Oh, it's a risk for smaller black holes. Larger black holes don't cause that.
have much smaller radii. If you go to the center of a galaxy and find a supermassive black hole, you might be able to experience crossing the event horizon. As you approach the
Really Kurzgesagt. I guess if you avoid the accretion disk and come in through a certain angle that doesn't have all of this orbiting going.
event horizon, a distant observer would think they never saw you enter it, seeing you stop and fade. The
Imagine that.
last light you emit trickling up and out away from the event horizon. Meanwhile, from your perspective, the void of the black hole rises up to meet you as light from fewer directions can reach you. The blackness envelops you until your only view of the universe you left is a tiny spot of light.
Sounds like a wormhole in a lot of these sci-fi shows where they take a spaceship and they travel super fast. Sounds like this type of description right here.
Here, inside the event horizon, space and time are so horribly broken that real time travel is possible, so it's probably a good thing that nothing gets out.
Wow. So real time travel is possible. I mean, forward time travel, but does it work backwards inside?
If anything could escape, it could create all sorts of time travel paradoxes and issues that break the universe. As scary as the event horizon is, it keeps us safe from that drama.
But what if we figure it out how to escape it? Huh? Imagine.
Whether you have survived this long doesn't really matter, as now there's only the certainty of crushing death in your near future. Inside the event horizon, space-time itself is so bent and warped that whatever direction you move here, every forward you go leads only towards the center of the black hole.
Yo, there is no escape.
Trying to go in any direction only brings you to the center faster. To survive the longest, you must do nothing.
That's like the opposite thinking. Sort of like swimming and you're drowning, and instead of fighting it, you just let yourself float up to the surface if you have no more energy left, instead of fighting and start drinking water and sink even faster.
In the center of the black hole, we find the singularity, a single point with all the matter that has ever crossed the event horizon, all crushed to a point infinitely small.
Infinitely small. How does that work?
There is no memory of the things that made it, as stuff disappears down the black hole trapdoor forever. The singularity makes all...
So there's Hawking radiation, right? That's supposed to happen at the horizon. Where's that come from? The Hawking radiation. Does it come from the singularity? Or is it just stuff that passed the horizon but didn't get to the infinitely small point yet?
All things equal. This actually breaks the universe in really cool ways.
And does Hawking radiation cause all the stuff that ever crossed that horizon to radiate eventually out of the black hole, so nothing is lost? Really, it's just stuck for a very long time. I mean, information is lost. It's whatever falls into it is broken down to the smallest elements of the universe, but does it come back out eventually? I think that's what Hawking's discovered, right? Very interesting to think about.
We've made a video about this problem if you want to learn more. But in a nutshell, everything that comes too close becomes black hole matter concentrated at the singularity.
Damn.
This lack of a memory of its past means that a black hole has only three properties: its mass, spin, and electric charge. Everything else is lost.
Wow.
They're a lot like fundamental particles in that respect. This actually means that every single black hole in the universe is the same.
Wow. So, but just in the last video, I seen that there's different types of black holes, though.
Sure, their mass is different, and some spin faster than others. But if we were to put all the singularities into a magical physics museum, they'd be identical, like electrons.
Wow.
But just like fundamental particles, the properties of singularities are the best ways we can describe them on paper, rather than an accurate representation of reality. Our current theories about the universe, namely general relativity, are just not able to describe or explain them. The curvature of space becomes infinite, density becomes infinite, and our rules just don't make sense.
Okay, hold on. The space curvature becomes infinite. How can you curve into infinity? How's that possible? Like, just sit there and think about it logically. Like, there's only so much degrees of curve possible, right? In our everyday life experience. But in a black hole, according to Kurzgesagt, the curvature is literally infinite. And the density is infinite. And the point like singularity is infinitely small. Like, what do these words mean? Infinitely small. What? Forever small? Like it gets smaller and smaller. Like, what?
Density becomes infinite, and our rules just don't make sense.
Right?
The singularity.
It takes a whole new mind frame to truly try to wrap your thoughts around this.
It has no surface or size, something like a divide by zero error in the universe.
Yeah. Like, how do you divide 0 by 0?
So singularities might not even exist, or be completely different things. But this is
a duck.
is all we know right now from the best prediction we have from our best current theory of space-time. Also, basically everything you've ever heard
based on the math
about black holes, even in this video, is about theoretical black holes that aren't spinning because their maths is so much easier. But since black holes were born from dying stars that were spinning extremely quickly in their final moments, as far as we know, all black holes in the universe should be spinning right now.
All of them?
At incredible speeds, too. up to 90% of the speed of light.
90% of the speed of light.
This means that in reality, black holes are even more screwed up than they usually get credit for.
Like just getting stuck in that rotation is insanity.
Singularities of rotating black holes are even wilder. The rotation causes them to swell outwards into a sort of ringularity.
Ringularity, there we go again.
This rotation is so powerful that space itself is dragged along. This creates another region around spinning black holes called the ergosphere, where it's impossible to stay still no matter how hard you try. Like a rushing whirlpool of space-time, the tide is irresistible, and the black hole makes you orbit it whether you want to or not.
Damn.
Okay.
That bird is having a time of his life. Oh my God.
The black hole makes you orbit it whether you want to or not.
Even change colors.
Okay. So what will happen to black
Redshift?
holes as the universe ages and dies around them? Again, we don't know, but we have some ideas based on our current understanding of physics. Hawking radiation.
Oh, there we go.
In quantum field theory, the vacuum of space is boiling with quantum fluctuations.
Like, isn't that also very trippy that there is no such thing as completely empty space? Like, there's always things coming in and out of existence. Wow.
These fluctuations are creating matter and antimatter pairs of particles from nothing, which only exist for a very short time before annihilating. When this happens near the event horizon of a black hole, one of these particles can fall in, stopping them from annihilating. The escaping particle is Hawking radiation.
Okay.
Ultimately, the mass of this particle must
I
come.
see. So that doesn't actually come from the singularity. It's just the extremes of that horizon in a black hole where things pop in and out of existence right around the edge. The pairs get separated so they get to survive. Oh my God.
Come from the black hole. So over eons, black holes will shrink and radiate away. Hawking radiation is not the stuff that fell into the black hole. It's new stuff, stealing mass from it.
Okay.
As the black hole shrinks, the Hawking radiation gets stronger.
So actually you do get stuck in the black hole forever and ever. Oh my God.
Faster and faster until what's left eventually evaporates in a flash of high energy radiation like a nuclear bomb. And then nothing. But that won't happen for a long, long time.
So even the singularity just evaporates?
A black hole with the mass of our sun has a lifetime of 10 to the power of 67 years, which means that it would take 10,000 billion years to lose 0.0000001% of its mass.
What?
But most black holes are way more
Insane.
massive than our sun. The most massive supermassive black holes in the centers of galaxies have lifetimes of 10 to the power of 100 years.
Jeez.
How long is that? Imagine an hourglass filled with 1 grain of sand for every single particle in the universe. Every 10 billion years, 1 single grain of sand falls to the bottom. If we waited for all the sand to fall down, not even 1% of the lifetimes of these black holes would have passed.
Oh my Lord.
There is no good concept to help our brains grasp
brain
these
hurts.
timescales.
Brain hurts. Ooh.
Will we ever truly understand black holes? Really know what's going on inside them?
Wow.
No one knows. We can only see their outsides, and the theories we have probably get their insides wrong. But it's okay to not know everything. It just means there's still work to be done. It means there are still mysteries to solve and big ideas to think about, which is why humans do science. In the end, we can at least be sure that we still have plenty.
Okay, so I think one of our commentators, a subscriber, mentioned this method to create black holes. You take some heavy element like gold and then you shoot thousands of lasers at the same time in the same direction, and you'll be able to create a black hole.
Of time left to think about them before the last one melts away.
Yeah, plenty of time. Okay, that was the end of the video. A lot of questions. I just had more and more and more questions. Every scene, every cut, every explanation just brought about more explanations that I need answers to. Black holes are so fascinating. Is it a bug in the universe, or they're doing exactly what they need to do for our universe to exist in the format that it does today? What would the universe look like if the black holes never existed? Would it be a better universe or a worse off universe? What is there consequences of no black holes existing? Like stars are so essential because that's where heavy and heavier elements are created in the core, and they need to explode so those guts go and cough and create new planets, and then that creates the environment for interesting chemistry to happen, and that chemistry leads to things like us, life. Is there some aspect like that for black holes that I'm not seeing? Let me know in the comments. What use does black holes have in the universe? And if they didn't exist, would our universe still be perfectly fine the way that it is? Love to hear your thoughts, your ideas, and your comments on these staggering numbers. If you're interested in videos like this, watching reactions like these, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more. I really appreciate you for being here. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Don Mecca out.